What's up, everybody? Well, I got another gameplay video for you guys today, and today we're going to check out Forspoken on the Asus G15 Advantage. Now, we're going to do 1080p and 1440p, and then after that, we'll just move on to the desktops. Unless, of course, somebody requests that I do it on the other resolutions. I definitely don't mind doing requests. Just didn't see the point in wasting time doing them if no one really watches it, and I could just be doing other people's requests in the time I'm doing those, you know? So, anyway, why don't we go ahead and get this guy hooked up to the capture computer, and that way we can look at some settings. Now, the game does have a benchmark, but didn't bother running it because I just figured it's like the, what do you call it? GTA 5 benchmark. Yeah, it shows you for FPS. If I recorded the entirety of it, then sure, you could see what kind of performance it got, but it doesn't even really give you anything at the end. It just kind of shows you FPS for like a quick second and then goes away. And I thought, okay, well, maybe I can just record that with my capture card. And I was like, all right, well, shit, I don't want to do that while I'm on my secondary and primary computer because they don't have a capture card to help them out, so that'll lower performance. So I decided, fuck the benchmark. We'll just let the game be the benchmark. Anyway, though, that's enough. Why don't we hop on into the game, look on some settings. We'll start at low and work our way up and see if it can handle maxed out. Probably not, but hey, let's try anyway. Well, before we get into the gameplay, let's look through the settings here on the Asus G15 Advantage. We're going to play at 1080p. We got the max frame rate at 120. No VSync, full screen, which it didn't even let me do on the Steam Deck, so that's at least nice. So now let's go over and hop over and look at the graphics settings. Now it says custom, but we are on low. I just have to put it on custom to actually be able to go through the settings like this. I should have done this on the Final Fantasy 15 too, but I don't know. Sometimes you don't think of the easy stuff. So, to the game. Well, here we go with gameplay on low, and I'm actually kind of horrified at performance now. If we're getting this kind of FPS at like the lowest settings, it's not going to be able to stay at over 60 the whole time. Hell, it already might not be able to on these settings.
Completely empty, but this place is twisted.
So, I guess this is probably the only way to play if you want over 60 FPS already. That's pretty sad. I know it didn't meet the recommended requirements though, so I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. Yep, unfortunately this laptop is just getting a little old. I figured it could at least sneak by since it's only 1080p though, but it is what it is. This game just doesn't look that impressively good for how hard it is to run. Like even the consoles are having problems running it.
This should come in handy.
I say consoles, but I'm pretty sure isn't this only a PlayStation exclusive? So yeah, I think it's only on PlayStation. And I think all of them are having problems. Hell, I think it's only on PS5, isn't it? It's not even on PlayStation. Maybe it is. No, it can't be. A PlayStation can't even play this game. If my Steam Deck can't, a PlayStation can't.
Not bad, I
That's
guess.
pretty much a good rule of thumb.
Yes, ought to come in handy.
Anyway, though, that seems like a good spot to move on. So let's do that. Well, now we're going to up the graphics to standard. So let's look through them real quick. Now, I didn't mess with the model memory or texture memory until the end because I didn't want to fuck with it. I figured, honestly, it was changing along the whole time, but I should have known once I watched the Steam Deck video that it did not. Oh well, let's move in. Okay, same spot as before, but now we're on standard graphics.
Hope so.
Which at least looks somewhat better, but man, still not that impressive. And like I thought, we are dropping well under 60 now. Just on the standard graphics settings. So, this is going to probably be one of those games, if you got this laptop and you want to play it, you've got to be okay with like sub 60 FPS.
Perhaps it has something to do with strange creatures prowling about the place.
Alright, now where's that other one? One tried to get behind me before. Where the fuck's he at? Where is that bitch? Alright, there's still that one. Ah, there he is, of course. Alright, cool. Well, we took them out at least.
Ooh, gross.
Well, now we've gotten in here, I'm actually kind of decided already once I started playing to not do 1440p as well. I hadn't like 100% decided on it, but I was pretty sure at this point because I was like, well, if it's this slow at 1080p, 1440p is going to be a super shit show, you know? Well, now on to high. So let's cruise through the settings first. This is probably going to go very poorly if standard went this bad. I think this is going to be a low game only with FSR help if you want to play and get decent FPS. It's probably just not going to look very good. Anyway, though, let's go see what it looks like now and how it plays. Well, here we are on high graphic settings now. Let's run around here real quick, precast the shaders a little bit.
That would mean they're still alive.
And yep, it's like a slightly higher than still 30 FPS game at this point, so that's at least good. But once we go to very high, I think that turns on, or ultra high, or whatever the heck. I think it was ultra high. I think once we turn that on, I think it turns ray tracing on, so that's probably going to be awful. But it'll be a good test for FSR and all that shit. And at the end, I think I'll mess with those two model texture thing and all that. There's two things at the top that I didn't mess with. So I think I'll turn those on too. But since we just left them off the whole time on the Steam Deck and on this until now, we'll just wait till the end to mess with that. Otherwise, we'll invalidate all the tests up until then, you know? But I really don't think either of those settings are going to be the saving grace that makes it go, oh, well, that's all it was. Now you get playable FPS, you know? I doubt it. It'd be great. I'm being slightly hopeful, but I'm just also being realistic. I just don't see it really helping that much. This is a very CPU-intensive game, too. Look at that CPU usage. Well, now it is time for ultra high. So let's go through these settings real quick. Yeah, the model memory and texture memory. I will fuck with that right now, as a matter of fact. If we're on ultra high, let's just turn all this shit on to high, too. Nah, let's not yet. If I have to go back, that'd probably fuck with the recording, you know? So I'll just do that next. Anyway, we've reached the bottom. Let's get into the game. Well, let's get into this game here on ultra high now. And yep, with the ray tracing on, this is a 30 FPS experience, and a little bit under, in fact, at times. But not too surprising. AMD does not do very good with the ray tracing.
What the hell happened here?
But I'm still surprised it's even doing this good. I kind of figured once I turned ray tracing on, it was going to be like 11 FPS, kind of like the Steam Deck, you know? So I'm still actually surprised it's getting these FPS. And heck, this is playable for a lot of people. I wouldn't really want to play like this, but
what's this?
If this was my only way to play, might have to make do, you know? It's hard to say, because I'm spoiled. I've got those two badass desktops, too, on top of the Steam Deck and this laptop, so if something doesn't run good for me on either of those, I can just go, oh, well, I'll just go to my main computer. Even the secondary computer probably isn't going to do this game well. We'll see, though. Anyway, moving on. Well, all right, let's do some FSR now, starting with quality. We'll also turn those up, too, because we've got high and ultra high. Figured, why not? And as you can see, we have it on quality settings. So let's just go all the rest of the settings. I left the game completely maxed out on ultra high. Normally I would turn off ray tracing, but I figured, fuck it, this will be the perfect chance to see how good FSR is. Can we get playable FPS to get even like 40, 50-ish? Hopefully 60 is not, well, I can hope, but that's just not happening. So here is FSR quality. The game maxed out, and
Hope so. At least that would mean they're still alive.
Seems to have helped a smidgen, maybe? Because weren't we dropping into the 20s while we were fighting those wolves before? I think we dropped, yeah, down to 27, 28. Well, let's walk over here. Maybe it was the area, not so much the fight. All right, no, seems like we're doing pretty good. We're not dropping into the 20s this time, so it's definitely helping. But we're not getting no 60. No matter what we do with the ray tracing on, it ain't happening. I don't think even with ultra performance it would matter. How do I get up there? I'm still learning how to use all the weird little parkour moves that she can do with the magic.
Nothing, I suppose.
I'll be the judge of that.
The game does eat up a lot of VRAM. We're using 10 gigs of VRAM. Luckily, I have 12. This is not going to be good for those lower end GPUs. Now let's tone it down to the FSR down to balanced, leaving everything else exactly as it were. But still, I like going through the settings because it helps me make the chapters and whatnot. And then you guys know what settings are every time in case there are people just cruising through the chapters, you know? All right, let's get some FSR balanced in now. Doesn't really seem like we gained anything with that, though.
Hope so. At least that would mean they're still alive.
But honestly, I think we've gotten all we can get out of FSR. I don't think we're really going to get any more FPS, really. We're just probably going to make it look worse and worse as we go lower and lower in the FSR. Just my guess. I could be wrong, of course, but that's just my guess.
Not bad, I guess.
Yes, ought to come in handy.
But let's run over here, too. Are we still getting around like the 50 FPS we got around this building? No, honestly, I think we're getting even worse FPS. Oh, wait, nope, there it is. I think it was around that area. Probably because we were staring at the damn wall running up it, you know? Alright, so. We didn't really gain any, nor did we really lose any. It's just kind of the same.
Huh. What's this?
Balm Fox. Probably something we can use to make healing potions. That is, if we can ever craft, but I'm almost positive you can. If you can't, I'll be very disappointed. Anyway, though, let's move on, shall we? Well, now we're going to do some FSR Performance. But first, we got to look through these settings, of course, so let's scroll through them real fast. And there we are. Let's get into the game. FSR Performance now. Let's fight these wolves again. I like getting combat in these because obviously you get weird little particles and whatnot flying around, so I feel like it's probably the worst FPS we're going to get is during combat. Though there could be way more graphically intensive spots in this game. We're obviously just kind of in the middle, of course. Or middle of nowhere in the beginning, I should say. That's what I meant to say, but it's okay to correct yourself.
What the hell happened here? Not
Very
only
good
is it
question.
completely
Everything's
empty,
fucked.
but this place is twisted.
Perhaps it has something to do
Twisted.
with strange creatures prowling about the place.
I keep trying to sprint by using that damn thing. I need
Might
to
as well
learn. You
bucket
gotta
this.
click the left mouse button. All right, let's open this chest. And then we
Not
can
bad,
move
I
along.
guess.
Well, last up on the FSR before we get to my settings is Ultra Performance. So let's one more time look through all the settings here and just to show you that it's the same settings as before. But that way you know there's no funny business and it makes it easy for me to do the chapters once I upload it to YouTube. So it's a win-win for everybody. So now to the game. Well,
There
here
not a
we
single
go.
person left.
It very much
Ultra
seems that
FSR.
way. Perhaps this oddness with the air
And
that drove them to
doesn't really seem to have helped us that much. We might have gained a
so.
frame or
At
two.
least that would mean they're still alive. Ah,
But it sure does look like a poopadoo. Or we could just call it what it is. Absolute garbage, shitty poo-poo Bugzilla cakes. And yet still, no playable for
should come in
FPS.
handy.
You'd probably have to combine no ray tracing with FSR, which is probably what my settings will consist of, but I'm just gonna fiddle with the settings and
Not
fuck
bad,
around
I
with them for a
guess.
little while, and then I'll turn the
Yes.
camera back on and show you guys what I came up with. That's kind of how I usually do those particular things now.
What the hell happened here? Not only is it completely empty, but
What in
this
the
place
hell?
is twisted.
Perhaps it has something to do with the strange creatures prowling about the place.
Alright though, let's move on to my setting. Well, alright guys, now to show you my settings, we're going with FSR Quality, and we're kind of chilling with Standard. with a couple things, but then I turned some stuff off, like depth of field, motion blur. We got low fog quality, and all that stuff's kind of just on low or off. Well, all right, let's get ourselves a little gameplay here with my settings before we jump in and get some screen recorded gameplay.
Hope so.
Now, unfortunately, it still drops under 60 here and there, but I wanted to have a mixture of still halfway decent looking game without going too crazy on the FSR. That's what we're left with. Still much better than it was before, I would say. We just can't have no ray tracing. Not if you want like over 30 FPS average. And even this, like I said, you can see right here, it drops below down to 54 even, so it's not like even like what I like. I like over 60 all the time, but that's of course just me. Some people would be like, oh man, no, this is totally playable. I could have fun like this. And I could. This is not that bad. Now my Steam Deck, no, I couldn't really do that. That just looks, to make it playable FPS, it makes it look way too crappy. I would wait. But still, even on the Steam Deck, I don't think this game's ever going to be that playable. So I guess if that's your only system, it's going to have to look like crap if you want playable FPS, or you're going to have to deal with dips down to 22. But it is what it is for now. Hopefully they'll fix it, though. We'll see. Anyway, though, this is a good spot to move on to camera. All right, guys, let's get a little camera gameplay in here. Unfortunately, it looks like we can't really get 60 FPS even at 1080p in this game, no matter what I do. Makes me wonder if I should even do 1440. I think I still will, just to see how it is, because people do have that model. And they probably sure would like to know how it runs too. Though if it doesn't run good on this, it's probably not going to run good on 1440, unless we've got some crazy CPU bottleneck or something, but I doubt it.
Prowling about the place.
Must have taken a wrong turn somewhere.
There's no shame in retracing your steps, you know.
Supposed to go up there.
I think we're nearly there.
Well done, me.
I'm still trying to decide. I don't think it's worth doing 1440 though. If it doesn't run good here, it's not going to run at all.
Okay.
It's going to be like probably 40 FPS at the settings I'm running right now just to make it playable here.
I'm seeing freaking dragons, and oh yeah, I'm talking to a fucking cuff.
Huh, what do we got up
This
here?
place is fun.
I imagine it was once. Happy,
Fountain?
smiling faces on every corner. No, I can picture it now.
Damn. Everything just looks broken.
Not exactly the most poetic of descriptions, but yes, I suppose it does.
Is there nowhere that's not, like, broken by this shit?
I suppose there might be somewhere.
Well, inside at least gets alright-ish FPS sometimes. What do we got over here? Ah, it's those healing droughts. Alright, I can always go back and read that later.
as well pocket this.
Alright, I'm still supposed to be in here. I figured as much. There's probably something else I'm supposed to do in here.
You should be safe here.
Good. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, like I said, probably supposed to sleep or something. Yep, I think I see a bed, so we'll just go to bed.
Nice.
Enemies can't enter the building, huh? Well, that's always good.
Sounds like trouble.
Yes, and given what we've seen so far, I'd say you need to be very careful in case you're planning on investigating.
It's like a windstorm.
Shit. What is it now? Is this the breach it's doing too?
I believe so. It corrupts everything it touches before destroying it completely. Now hurry up, get out of here while you still can.
Ah, the dragon is back.
Ah! Oh, fuck! What now?
Well, for starters, I think we should run.
Ah! Ah! Too late for that.
Yeah, looks like we ain't running. Alright, so you can.
What the hell do I do here?
Fighting might be an idea.
How the hell am I supposed to fight a dragon?
Everything that big must have a weak point.
Whoa, did you see that?
So gratifying to see my hard work paying dividends.
There we go. Wasn't hitting it good.
That's not a good thing, is it?
Probably not. Might want to find some power. Fast.
Shit! Oh, fuck!
Alright, unblockable attacks.
Okay, this is bad. Very bad.
Take cover.
Come on, not dead already.
I'm afraid our reptilian friend seems as stubbornly healthy as ever.
Ah!
Has anyone ever told you how sloppy you are?
Hey, fuck off.
Ooh, got me.
Not bad for an amateur, I suppose.
Hey, you wanna do the fighting here? Nope, not working.
Yes, that must be his weak point. I knew it.
Alright. I think we won, unless it's got some other form or something. Well, I guess we should get the fuck out of here. And I I also think this is a great time to wrap this video on up. So let's go do just that. Well, alright guys, that's a wrap for Forspoken on the Asus G15 Advantage, and wow, I was definitely expecting it to do a little bit better on the more like standard and low settings, but even at those you still need FSR to get anywhere close to getting 60 FPS, and we still drop. So now after playing 1080p, I've decided there's really no point in doing 1440. It will not run good. It's gonna run like crap. So obviously, let me know in the comments if anybody does want me to do this game at 1440. I know there's the laptop with the 1440p version, but I think you're gonna have to drop that thing down to 1080p and turn FSR like I have on just to get this game playable. So just like on the Steam Deck, I don't think I'd really recommend this game for this laptop. Not until they come out with some patches, and even then it might just be like Gotham Knights and just be terrible no matter what. That game's still not very playable on this or the Steam Deck. So might just turn into one of those, because it's not like it has a Plague's Tale Requiem's excuse of actually just looking really fucking good, yet not having FSR or anything to help it out. It has DLSS, but I don't think it had FSR back when I tested it out. Anyway though, I'm blabbing on and on, but of course, like I said, if you guys want to see any of the other resolutions, just let me know. I'm gonna now move on to my secondary computer here, and then do the primary, and then it's time to work on some voiceovers so I can get to editing and get these uploaded as soon as possible. So, I hope you guys still enjoyed the video, and until the next one, peace out, guys.